What is up, my friends? You are very welcome along to tonight's Anfield Agenda late night news roundup. We're going to cover some of the topics we discussed in tonight's late night agenda, as well as giving you some fresh information around the likes of HUIJSEN and HINCAPIE and a couple of other interesting bits and pieces. Now, I want to make this really clear because apparently some people watch the videos and think that I believe every one of these stories, or that I'm trying to tell the viewers that all of these players are coming to the club. I want to make it clear once and for all, I very much don't believe them all. It is my job to bring the news together, pitch it to everybody in the chat, see what you think, and get your thoughts in the comment section. But there's a lot of people who just want to come in and try to undermine the channel and community, and I just want to know, we see you, we know what you're at, crack on if that brings you joy, but we don't believe every story, but it's my job to report to them, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. If you do have an issue with any of them, feel free to take it up with the journalists involved. We do always give you the names of the sources and the people who write the story, so what you decide to do with that information is entirely up to you. We love you nonetheless. Anyway, let's get cracking. So let's get into a story that we did discuss on tonight's late night agenda that comes from Called Offside, and they say that Manchester United, Liverpool and Newcastle are all showing interest in signing Como's 19-year-old winger, Assane Diao. Now, like I said in the video earlier on, I know nothing about this kid, but if you've watched them and rate them, do let me know in the comment section. And sticking with stories linking us to attacking players, this piece here from Team Talk said Liverpool have been in contact with the representatives of Takefusa Kubo and could make a move in the summer if Real Sociedad fail to qualify for Europe. Again, this is one of those players that has been linked with us for so many windows, but nothing ever happens, and I don't think anything's going to change there. But, of course, it is another attacking link, so we thought we'd bring it to you. Now, a little bit of, bad news on a player who was out on loan. Talking here specifically about Owen Beck, who will be out for the rest of the season after picking up a hamstring injury. He'll return to Liverpool from Blackburn to continue his recovery, and of course we wish Owen Beck a very speedy recovery. Always unfortunate like that when a player's season comes to a premature end, and hopefully he can do his rehab and get back playing as quickly as possible. While we're speaking about people being out, I'm not sure if you know this or not, but Gabriel has been ruled out for Arsenal for the remainder of the campaign. He is either undergone or has to undergo surgery on his hamstring, which will see him ruled out until the start of next season. So not great news that for Arsenal with the title run in, if there is still a title race to be had, and of course the Champions League games. Now, I feel like we've talked enough about the stuff that may not happen. Let's get into the part of the video where there's an interesting battle, I think is the right word, developing. This piece here from Sport, which is a Spanish publication, said, and credit LFC Transfer Room who posted this, Liverpool, Spurs and Manchester United are all seen as potential barriers for Real Madrid, who are looking to splash £85 million plus worth of deals this summer, with Bournemouth's Dean HUIJSEN and Leverkusen's Piero HINCAPIE on all four clubs' list this summer. For me, I would be very, very much open to us signing Dean HUIJSEN. There was a report earlier on that suggested that Jarell Quansah may ask to leave Liverpool. Now, I don't know how serious this is, but it certainly seems far-fetched to me. We know Newcastle are interested in him, but if he really did want out, and again, I have to say, I don't know that to be the case, but if he did, I could see a world where you bring in his money and then you go and you sign HUIJSEN. Job done, in my opinion. But for me, being greedy, I want us to be adding to the centre-backs that we have at the club. So Joe Gomez, he may move on this summer, he may not. But right now, we've got Canade, we've got Virgil, we've got Jarell Quansah, and that's pretty much it. So I think we are short of a centre-back already, and for me, the name at the very top of my list would be Dean HUIJSEN. We know he has a release clause, so you wouldn't really have to argue with Bournemouth over that. You'd have to convince the player to come. And if Real Madrid really are sniffing around, and look, he's become a full Spanish international, Real Madrid certainly are alluring to a lot of Spanish international players. Let me know your thoughts on it. Now, HINCAPIE is another interesting one. He could fill in at left centre-back, could fill in left side of a back three, could maybe even play left back at a push, and I'm sure that that's appealing to many clubs, including Liverpool. But for me, if I'm looking for a centre-back, the very first name on the list to me is HUIJSEN. We know what he would cost. We know he's Premier League tried and tested. HINCAPIE is a name that makes sense when we were talking about the likes of Ruben Amorim coming in, or Xavi Alonso maybe, and playing with a back three. But again, under Arne Slot, we don't play with a back three, so I'd like to go for HUIJSEN. £85 million worth of talent for the two of them. Which one would you guys have? Or who do you think is more realistic to come to Liverpool? And do you think that there is a world where maybe Jarell Quansah wants to move away? We know Newcastle have been linked with a move for him. We know Liverpool last summer at least valued him at about 60 million quid. So I find it difficult to believe that we'd be looking to rush him out the door. But if Newcastle want to pay big bucks, what are you saying? Arne Slot certainly has shown mixed responses to whether he trusts Quansah or not this season. Didn't start him against Everton at right back, went with Curtis Jones instead, and Curtis played really well. So there's lots of stuff like this that makes me concerned for the summer. We need to know what the lay of the land is. I would much prefer HUIJSEN over the likes of HINCAPIE, but maybe I'm in the minority. Before we finish up though, there is one other story that is quite interesting, and I'm sure one that you guys would be, well, very much open to. This piece from David Ornstein said that Morgan Rogers of Aston Villa is generating some big admirers. Now, I don't think it's going to be any breaking news that he's a good player, or that most of us would very much be open to the idea of him coming in. But again, at the expense of who? There's a piece that said that Diogo Jota is going to be staying at Liverpool. Darwin Núñez may be moved on, but we still have to address the situation there with Luis Diaz as well. Harvey Elliott's future is going to come in or under the microscope. I just don't see a world where this summer we're going to do much Premier League to Premier League business, because that tends to be expensive business where you have to overpay. Baleba, as an example, João Pedro, we spoke about them tonight in the late night agenda. Well, Brighton are asking £100 million plus for both of those, and in no world are either of them, as of now, £100 million players. So with the likes of HUIJSEN, there's a release clause. With Kirkes, incredibly, 40-45 million may still seem like good value, and let's be honest, we haven't had to invest a whole lot in fullback positions over the years because of Trent, because of Bradley coming through, because how cheap Andy Robertson was. So, 45 million quid there would be decent business. But do I see a world where they'd want to lose Kirkes, HUIJSEN and somebody else like Semenyo in one? Well, no. So for me, Morgan Rogers certainly won't be a name that I expect to see coming through the doors of the AXA Training Centre. But let me know what you guys think. What would the value be on a player like Rogers? And also, and this seems like a very obvious question, why would he want to leave Aston Villa right now? Unai Emery has got them in the Champions League and pushing to qualify again. Certainly a player that Unai Emery believes in. So I'd be interested to know what you guys think a valuation of somebody like Morgan Rogers would be and where he would most likely fit in. Genuinely am interested to know in the comment section, so have at it. Tomorrow morning, ladies and gentlemen, at 10 o'clock, the Premier League predictions video is going to come out. I went through the 10 games from this upcoming weekend, give you my guess or best guess at scores in them all. Love to know your feedback on that if you get a chance to watch it. And if you're wondering when the Fulham preview is going to come out, that will be coming out Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Tomorrow we will be live at 8:45. Saturday, no live content. A couple of news videos coming out. But until then, I hope you guys have a brilliant weekend ahead. Thank you again for your continued support of the channel. Hope you drop a like on this video for me. And if you haven't, please do subscribe. We'll talk soon, my friends. Bye-bye.